Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Third Shift episode 319, and I, of course, am your host, your funky leader, the greatest man who's ever lived. It's me, it's Matt, and I'm pumped for the show as I always am. And with me, as always am, it's my buddy, the light bearer, the light bringer, the light bearer, bringer, the Beastmaster of Third Shift. It's Eric, and he's here to tell us how his week was. But before he gets to do that, I'm going to say, don't you dare, Eric, don't you dare tell me that you played a video game this week. Don't you do it. Don't you dare do it, because I just pulled it up here. Oh, look, my little PlayStation app. I'm a little phony phone. Oh, look, Mahago was last online 19 days ago. So if you tell me you played PlayStation 5, you're a dirty rat bastard. So tell us, Eric, how was your week?
Well, let's start off with real life. I don't remember what I did. It's terrible, but I don't remember. I sat there and I was like, what did I do this last weekend? I went, well, nobody's visited. It was the off weekend. But I feel like I did something. But I don't recall. I cannot recall what I did this weekend. And I think that might be a problem. You know what I mean? We've discussed this before, man. But we got to get our brains back in order. And me, I guess, maybe more than you, so. Because I don't remember anything anymore half the time. Like, I don't know what I did. I just existed. I worked. I don't know. You didn't work on the weekend. What did you do on the weekend?
Something. I don't know.
I don't remember. I was alive. I remember that.
I always put stuff in my phone calendar. So when I sit down here, I'm like, what did I do on the weekend? Swipe, swipe. Oh, yeah, I went and did that thing. So that at least helps me remember. Because, I mean, sometimes I do remember because it's a big, cool, fun thing that I did. But sometimes it's a smaller thing and I'm just go, whoosh, away, dust in the wind.
Exactly. Now, I do remember a couple small things. I worked on our deck. I sanded for a couple hours.
That's the thing you're supposed to forget. You're supposed to remember the other thing, whatever it is.
Anything that was fun, yeah. And then I also finished winterizing the camper. We got the antifreeze run through it, that kind of stuff. That was done. And there was something else. There was a big thing I did. Something I did. Don't remember, though. So, whatever. Doesn't matter. Now back to what Matt was talking about, what he's trying to give me grief over. I did play video games, Matt. I did.
What? Now, told you, I warned you, you are now officially a dirty rat bastard.
I am.
You're a dirty rat bastard.
I am. I hide.
You hide from your friend who wants to play video games with you. You hide from me. You hide from the entire world.
And that is not true. I'm not hiding from Matt.
Shameful display.
You're almost never on. Now, you have been, though, because you've been playing some Overwatch 2. But
I was going to say, this is not true. I am always on now.
I was going to say, in the past, it was never you. You were never on the PlayStation. You're always on the PC playing something or doing whatever. Or on whenever I'm not. I don't know where the hell you were. I don't keep track of what Matt does during the week. But you're usually not on my list of people online playing video games on the PlayStation 5. You have been this last week playing Overwatch 2. I'll give you that. So it doesn't mean I'm hiding from you. I've been doing this forever. Ask anybody who knows me. go ask Chad, go ask Jared. They go, Eric never plays. I've never seen him on because I hide. I'm sitting there, little sneaky snook Eric, doing whatever he wants to do. And you know why? It's because I'm ashamed. Because I don't play video games that much anymore. I just go on to media, I click Crunchyroll, and then I just watch anime and go to bed. That's what I do. What do you want from me? And then, you know what the saddest part is? I'm not even hiding, really, the fact that I'm not playing a video game. I'm hiding so that nobody bugs me while I'm just watching anime on Crunchyroll, because I know I'll feel bad and go, yeah, I should play a video game. So I'll leave Crunchyroll and go play the video game, and I don't want to do it. I just want to watch Crunchyroll and go,
So again, this is the exact same conversation we had, you, me, and Chet at work. If somebody knocks on your door, you are not obligated to go to that door and open it and go, oh, hello, who are you? If someone goes, blah, 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 invited you to play Overwatch 2, no, that would be me, invited you to play Destiny 2, you can't just go, and I'm doing nothing for those listeners. I'm literally doing nothing. I'm just staring at the screen, enjoying my anime that I'm watching. Yeah. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
I know that's all you have.
And they'll be like, invited you to chat. And you're just like, again, I'm doing nothing. I'm enjoying my anime. That's all you got to do.
But of course, being me, then I have to, when they text me or whatever, I have to go, well, here's the truth because, this is what I do. I'm ignoring you because I'm watching anime. I don't want to play this game with you. Have a great night. I don't want to do that.
That's fine.
No, it's not fine. It's the truth. And I am fine with telling you it because I will, which is why I try to hide so I don't have to tell you it. But
is it more fine than you guilting your own self into playing a game you don't want to play just because somebody saw you? No, it's not. This.
That's a problem. That's a problem. I need therapy.
I think I said it wrong, but you get what I'm saying.
I know what you're talking about. So that's why I'm constantly offline. So I can just escape and go watch anime and rarely play video games because I don't have huge chunks of time to actually play. So therefore I do the whole thing about, I don't have enough time to even get started in this. I'm not going to have fun. But with that all said, I did play some video games. And in the show notes, I only put one, but I actually ended up getting two in. One was Yakuza Like a Dragon. That's in the show notes. I'm starting to get frustrated because I'm at level 51 or 52 now. And I wanted to have this game beat. And here I am not beat because I hit a brick wall of a boss who is requiring a lot of me. So I farmed. I went and faced him again. As I told Matt, I don't know if it's on air or off air, it doesn't matter. Huge fight, almost an hour's worth of time. He beat me because of some random secondary crazy attack that killed Ichi in one hit. Really frustrated me, just super pissed me off. So I went, and now for the last, 3-4 days now, I've been farming again. I'm up to 52 now with everybody. And then I was like, well, all right, let's go do it. Well, I can't because I'm going to have to assume that this fight's going to take another 42, 52 minutes, whatever it is. And I don't have that kind of time, which is what we were talking about earlier, how I rarely have an hour to 2 hour chunk to just dedicate to, something without being interrupted and or having to move or groove or do something. So I couldn't do it. And so here we are coming up on another weekend of me at the same spot I was last week and can't move forward. And we're running out of time fast. We've got a couple months left of this year, and I've got 4 games that I'm still halfway through and haven't beaten. And I'm going to be furious if it was Yakuza Like a Dragon that screwed me over from actually getting through these games by the end of the year. Is it Yakuza's problem? It isn't. It's my own problem.
But I was going to jump in. I was going to say, I have to defend the series that I love the most in the entire world. It's not a Yakuza problem. It's an Eric problem. You said it already, so I'm not going to do it.
I already know, but I'm going to blame Yakuza so that way I don't have to blame myself.
No,
that's what we do. We blame everybody else and everything else except ourselves. That's what humans do.
It's not how we're supposed to do it.
Oh, it's not what we're supposed to do? Oh, I don't know. That's just that's what I was told. That's what I'm supposed to do. So I'm hoping this weekend, which is a lie because it's not going to happen because I'm actually going down to visit family in Ohio. I was hoping to finish it up and actually kick its butt. But it won't happen. Sometime this week. Hopefully I do. I want to have it finished within a week or two tops. That way I at least have a couple months to try to get through Horizon. Elden Ring, I'm on the last little scroll. All I have to do is log in and just go. Just give it a good push. Give it a good push. And I think I could probably do it. And then, of course, Soul Hackers is probably not going to happen. I'm not kidding myself. I'm only 20 hours in, and it's probably an 80 to 100 hour game. So, yeah. So that's where I am with that right now. And then the other game that me and Matt both want to play, and it just keeps not happening. The game nights keep getting canceled for either me gone, Matt gone, me gone, Matt gone. It just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But Overwatch 2 is out, and I told you guys I played a couple rounds, last week or the week before, whatever it was when it first launched. I got in one round yesterday, and I was so pissed that I actually just shut it off and didn't do. I could have done more rounds, but me and fighting games, it's a problem. I don't know why these trigger me. They actually do piss me off. I get really upset when I'm trying hard and want to actually play and not just drinking beers with Matt and having fun. And I was Orisa. I went into an actual real match, with Orisa, me tanking, everybody doing their own thing. The team, they were so terrible. They were so bad and so terrible. Nobody did their job at all. Not even remotely. I think I was the only person on point ever. And I just wanted to break the controller again, just like the last time I talked to you about playing Overwatch 2. And I'm like, oh, this isn't good. So after that match, I went, nope. I'm over here just PO'd, crunching the controller, squeezing it with all 50 pounds of pressure I got in my hands. And I went, click. Nope. We're going to watch episode 2 of Chainsaw Man on Crunchyroll. There we go. Wasn't going to do it. I was going to video game night it up. And I didn't. Instead, I went to Crunchyroll because once again, I got in a match with people who are so incompetent. It didn't even make sense. I don't even know what you're playing. I don't know what you're doing. So that was my week in video games and in life. What about you, Matt?
Well, I'm going to start on the real world front, just like you did. It was Saturday. It must have been Saturday because we had to cancel the Friday night game night. Went out to Grand Rapids with Mom. They had a Jim Henson exhibit out there. Really cool, really fun at the Grand Rapids Art Museum there. It's cool, because they had a couple of the puppets, not like every single one or anything, but a bunch of the puppets from his all the different things he did. So there was stuff from like The Dark Crystal, there was stuff from Labyrinth, and then Muppet Show, all that stuff, obviously, Sesame Street. But the other cool thing was like they had, and a lot of it was scanned, but some of it was, framed up behind glass, like notes from him, like about the shows. Like here's how he's staging the shows, or alternate titles for the different movies, or this or that or the other thing. So seeing like the handwritten like pieces of, he really worked on this, and this is what he turned in or, showed his people. It was really cool. And, of course, it tracked his whole history from right when he got his start. And they had, like, lots of, like, little video stations where you could put on, like, the little chintzy headphones. My favorite was he directed, and I don't know why it stuck with me so much, this series of, like, 8-second commercials with, like, 2 little puppets he made. Darn it, I had their names a second ago, and now I lost them. But it was just for little products, like... And they were just these goofy puppets, and one would be like, hey, do you want to try whatever the product is? Oh, I like brand X. And then he'd like pull out a cannon and blow them away, and then like turn the can toward the camera and be like, you want to try product, right? Just silly, goofy things. I was watching it and like, man, I sure wish commercials were 8 seconds again, because commercials suck my soul clean out of my body anytime I have to watch one. But anyway, that aside, I also went through the rest of the art museum. It wasn't a big art museum, but there was some awesome stuff in there. Some awesome oil paintings and I couldn't tell if they had glass on them or not, and I didn't get like super close or anything. When you got close, you could see like the layers of the oil paint. Like it was a landscape of these sedimentary rocks or whatever. When you got close, it looked real because of all the layers. You could see it like 3D. It was beautiful, wonderful. And then I guess Grand Rapids has a big history of like furniture making. So there's a lot of like furniture stuff throughout the art museum. And I fell in love with this skyscraper desk. I took like 3 pictures of it. It's a beautiful like mahogany desk. But then the side of it was like built like a skyline. There were like 2 or 3 skyscrapers essentially nested together. And they were like these bookshelves in them. So it was like this beautiful shelving unit on top of this beautiful desk. And I was like, man, if I sat at that every day, I mean, I love my desk here that I sit at. But if I sat at this gorgeous desk and every one of these nooks and crevices was filled with some cool figure or games or all my favorite movies or all my favorite books, I would look at it and just be so happy. Oh, it was amazing. Beautiful. And I can't describe it well enough on an audio show, but it was wonderful. Then on the video game front, I one-upped you, Eric, and I played 3 games this week, one of which was Persona 5 Strikers. Just kind of busting through that, barreling through that, because I did turn it down to easy mode like we talked about. But now I have this like dissonance with it. We're going into the story and, oh man, here's the new king of the jail. Oh no, what are they going to do? We're real scared to go in there. I'm like, no, you're not. I don't die on anything. I don't have trouble with anything. You just fly in and you rip the masks off and you all out attack and you just kill everything. It's fine. What do we do? So I almost want to turn it up more to normal or hard so that I feel the anxiety that the characters feel, but at the same time, the gameplay is not clicking with me, so I'm not going to do it. So I'm torn, because there is that, but at the same time, the gameplay feels like how the Phantom Thieves should be. We just went on a big giant journey. We took down the country. We saved the world. These little piddly jokers shouldn't be anything. I should feel this way. We should just be romping and stomping. We're the goddamn Phantom Thieves of Hearts. Come on now. Come on, crew. So I don't know. It's a little weird. I'm still enjoying it because it is more Persona 5 with all my favorite friends and doing all the stuff. But it's just that, man, I should have played it on normal or hard. But I stopped playing it because I didn't like it on normal or hard. So I'm just going to play it on easy. So don't worry about it. So I won't. The other game I played, of course, Overwatch 2. I've been playing tons of this game. Well, I was going to say I don't know why, but I didn't play a lot of Overwatch 1 just solo. I played some here and there, but when I get into Overwatch 2 and I play some matches, after the match, one of the few things it does, your little XP bar goes up, and then if you accomplish one, shing, a daily challenge pops. And I go, oh, daily challenge, huh? What are the other daily challenges for today? And I go to the little challenges menu, and I see all 8 of them, and I go, oh yeah, I'm going to do these. Every time I get on, I play for like 4 hours because I can't stop because I got to do more daily challenges. And then I did so many daily challenges. What's in that weekly tab? Oh, I'm already halfway through that. I'm doing so much damage. I've got the damage weekly all the way up. Oh, I'm doing so much healing because I'm such a good Moira. I do damage and I do healing. I got the healing one almost all the way up. Well, if I play a little bit more, I can pop those 2 and get more battle pass experience. And and I get hooked. The little fish hook is in my mouth, and it's not a money fish hook. It's not a buy cosmetics. It's a little get little check marks, and then those add up to bonuses where you get more XP. But they hooked me. They got me. I was wondering how they would do it, and that's it. Because that's one of the few things that happens after the battle. Some matches, shing, 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 you got 2 dailies and a weekly. Oh, it feels really good. And I got to tell you a story, Eric, because it was Saturday night. I was playing. I got on Overwatch 2. What's in the arcade mode? Total Mayhem is here. Perfect. Boy, I wonder if my dear friend Eric is going to come on. We could play Total Mayhem together. It would be a great time. Got into some Total Mayhem matches, having fun, wins and losses, how we always do. And then I got into a match. And it was one of those weird ones where they start you off, you're the fill-in, you're the backfill. Somebody left the match, you're in it now. And they were pushing that payload. And it was the new map, I think it was Manhattan or whatever the new New York map is. They're pushing that payload down the road. And there was a Zarya on top of the payload. And again, it's Total Mayhem. If the listeners don't know, cooldowns are severely reduced, health goes up, so you have more chance to stay alive and you're popping your abilities like crazy. And I swear to God, this Zarya must have been hacking. This must have been a crossplay thing, and they hacked, because the Zarya self-bubble was never down. And as somebody who desperately wants to make Zarya their main tank, I can tell you, even in Total Mayhem mode, that bubble lasts for 0.2 seconds, and it's on like a 4-second cooldown. You can never not be without bubble. You can get bubble for like 0.5 seconds, and then you have no bubble. This person always had bubble. They stood on the payload with bubble, 100%, with the big giant beam going, Vwah.
So it's a known issue. They're actually in the works to fix it. They weren't hacking. Zarya's broken, and your bubble never leaves. So if you play Total Mayhem, yes, you can
get on Zarya this weekend. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a hack, nope. But that's not even the best part of the story, because this Zarya was on bubble forever. But that payload moved down to the street, and it had 20 feet left to go. It had like 2 payload lengths left to go, and my team would have lost. I got in there. I'm throwing death bubbles. I'm throwing heal bubbles. That payload did not move a single inch. Clock went all the way down, started overtime. That overtime did not stop. For I swear to God, and I say swear to God, but who knows what the actual time was, for 10 minutes we fought on that goddamn payload. I would kill like the 3 backline members of the team, because there was like a Genji, a False Me, and a Howard that would always come in. I would murder them, then try to get this Zarya off the point somehow. Because I can't. I'm Moira. I can't. I got no dislodge. I got no nothing.
No boops. You got nothing like that.
Yeah. And then whatever the other character was would run up. So I would try to take that character down. My team would come in, get torched by the Zarya and this other character, and then it was beautiful because I was just always there. So that payload's not moving. Overtime is just staying completely full the entire time. And it was beautiful watching my teammates start switching to characters. Oh, now our tank, who was a Roadhog or whatever, he can't land his hook because Zarya has bubble all the time. He switches to Winston. He's jumping and bouncing around. I'm like, Winston can't do anything either, but at least he puts the shield up. Now I'm zooping around inside of the shield. I'm murdering, and keeping everybody up too. But then I see, after 2-3 minutes, Winston gets its ult up. He goes full on Rage Monkey. He hits that Zarya. She goes, whew, flies right off. He's wailing on her. She's trying desperately to get on the thing. It happened, I swear to God, 3 different times before he finally dislodged her enough. And I don't know if Bubble went down or if he just trailed and pushed her off, and then I killed everyone else. 10 minutes, nonstop, overtime fight. I think maybe the payload did shift a little bit, and then we pushed it back, and I was drenched in sweat. It was stressful. It was beautiful. It was everything that I love sometimes, most of the time, in Overwatch. It was just fists and scratching and clawing and biting and snorting. Oh, it was wonderful. I was like, gee, I gotta call Eric. I gotta say you missed it. If only you were there, it would have been even better. Oh my God, it was wonderful. Just an amazing thing.
God bless. Look at that. Matt's having this time of his life, and I almost broke my controller twice. I was like, yeah, I'm not playing this game.
I will say later that night I queued up for you can queue up for different roles or you can queue up for any role. And I did get a tank match, and my team was garbage. I was Roadhog, and they would just swarm me because everyone died in like half a second. So I had those matches too. But starting the night off with that, it was just chef's kiss. And speaking of chef's kiss, I also played and streamed Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. A couple streams, one nice long one a little bit of a shorty. And then I found the spare time. I've got a full team. I can access the full team finally. I've got all the espers that I'm going to get for right now. It's time for everybody to learn their spells. Went around learning spells, battling, getting AP, getting XP. And I told Eric most of the story. But then I went, okay, what achievements can I get here? Because most achievements are learn all the blitzes. Well, you got to level all the way up to do that. Learn all the this, learn that. Okay, can't do that right now. But Setzer has an achievement for getting his Joker's Death slot attack. And if anybody that hasn't played Final Fantasy VI, Setzer, his special ability is slots. It's literally a slot machine. 3 slots. One goes real slow, one goes medium, one goes super fast. Like regular speed, 2 times speed, and 3 times speed. I said, get the special one. How do you get the special one? Oh, it's 777 on the slot. If there are 20 spots on the slot, 7 is on each one once. So I was like, okay, I'm leveling up anyway. I'm going to start doing this. Okay, I'm going to start trying it. Every turn he comes up, I'm going to try it. Bing, bing, bing. Screwed it up. Bing, bing. No, not even close. Bing, bing. Awful. All right. It's 9 o'clock. If I don't get this by 9:30, I'm not going to worry about it anymore. Try. Fail. I look down. Now it's 9:30. All right, if I don't get it by 10, I'm not going to worry about it. All right, if I don't get it by 10:15, I'm not going to worry about it. If I don't get it by 10:30, I'm not stressing. If I don't get it by 11, I don't care. I'm saving and quitting because I have to go to bed. But it wouldn't get out of my head. It wouldn't leave me. If I don't get it by 11:15, that's it. If I don't, okay. All right, something's wrong here. I'm watching it. If you know the slots, if you know the game real well, the spots on the slots are at the same spot. So like if you stop the first slot on the 7, the amount of time that it took you to get, when you started it and hit the 7, that's the same for the second. That's the same for the third. But it doesn't look that way because it's going so fast. So I went, okay, I gotta figure it out. I gotta do something. I looked up on YouTube. I was like, give me a metronome or something so I can hit it to a click. I can do something like that. None of them worked. I tried like 5 different ones. The beats are all, nothing hit right on the 7. Okay. All right, I got to start making it up in my head. I got to get a rhythm going. Hit the button and dun, 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 stop. Okay, it was close. Dun, 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 no, okay, no. So I started figuring it out. I'm like, okay. But I was still watching the slots. And every time that 7 would come on that third one that was going so damn fast, my thumb would panic. Not even myself, because I was trying to follow the rhythm. My thumb would go, no, you gotta. And it would just be just short, or just afterwards. Like, okay. And then I thought, what would Jean-Claude Van Damme do in Bloodsport? Mm-hmm. What would he do? He would blindfold himself, and he would train with his master. So I had the timing down. I could get 1 absolutely right. I could get 2 mostly right, like 99%. Okay, I'm not going to look. Such his turn comes up, go to slots, turn the face away. hit the X button. Boom. Dun 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 dun, dun boom. Dun 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 boom. Dun 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 boom. First two perfect. Second one off by just a hair. Okay. I just got to dial it in. If I don't get this by 11:30 though, I gotta go. Nope. Got it at 11:40 at night. Not looking at it at all. Every single time, I went to a super level 1 area, got in one battle. Everybody else is doing nothing. I'm just doing slots. Looking away. Dun, 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 dun. I did it. Didn't even look. I looked back. I saw 3 red 7s. I almost fainted dead away in my chair. I was like, am I dreaming? Did I fall asleep? Is this a dream? Then I hit confirm. Joker's death happened. It wasn't even that flashy looking. The enemies died. Bling. Achievement unlocked in the corner. Beautiful. 2 hours and 40 minutes of doing it. But I did it, and I did it not even looking at it. I found my own way to do it. Concentration, and just don't even look. Don't let your body even think about it. Just boom, 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 boom. Done. Perfect. Awesome. So that was my week. What a wonderful week. My God, I got stories for days. I can even tell you more stories about my Grand Rapids trip. Oh my God, all the stuff we talked about. But we're not going to do that. We're going to throw it to Eric for, hey, tell us about a video game or something. I don't know.
Well, real quick, we do got to go to Grand Rapids. There's a lot of stuff in Grand Rapids I need to see, and apparently Bay City, which we'll talk about some other day. Mm-hmm. We got some touring to do in our own state still, folks. Let me tell you, just check out your own state, because I'm promising you, you're missing out. You're missing out. We've been here a long time. There's a lot of stuff here that we haven't seen, but that's neither here nor there, because this week, Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed has arrived October 18th, 2022, by IllFonic. It's out for everything but the Switch. Now, what is this game? If you don't know IllFonic, they do the Predator Hunting Grounds. They've done like the Friday the 13th one, where you got several players versus the baddie. You pick whether you want to do the baddie, whether you want to do the players, and you go have a great time. This is the same setup. You get to be like 3 Ghostbusters, and one person's like the ghost. And then you go and choose one of 5 stages currently. I'm sure they'll update it, and there'll be more stages down the line. I'm sure there'll be new modes, but for right now, there's only one mode, and there's 5 stages. You do get to customize your Ghostbuster, though. So you can go in and create the Ghostbuster of your dreams, make them look just like you, make them look just like a famous Ghostbuster from, of course, the wonderful movies and or TV series back in the day. There's different costumes that you can get, and while you're playing, you will also unlock different costumes, different get-ups, different setups. But of course, base, you will always have the cool jumpsuit that the Ghostbusters traditionally wear. Now, what are you doing? So as I said, you get a few of your buddies and then one ghost player to hop into one of these 5 stages, and you, the Ghostbusters, well, guess what? You have to stop the ghost from scaring all the people and ruining the day, and then, of course, letting all the other ghosts out, and then turning this place into a scaredy cat zone. So you got to go around to capture this ghost, and not only just capture the ghost, but you got to stop the ghost from letting other ghosts be free and run around and, run amok. And you also have to keep the civilians who are still in the building from panicking. So while you're doing all this other stuff, you do have to walk around occasionally to the civilians, calm them down, soothe them. And of course, on top of that, anytime the ghost, whose job is to obviously sabotage the Ghostbusters and scare the people and create such a haunt in this place that, it's over. You win, Ghostbusters lose. So to do that, you can go ahead and is it poltergeist poltergeist right into items. So you can do that and scare the holy crap out of the civilians, which raises the haunt level or whatever they call it. Then you can, like I told you earlier, you can go and make other ghosts pop in. They go around creating havoc all over the place while you're doing whatever you want to do. And then on top of that, you've got to protect your portals. These portals are where the ghosts and other things can happen. You can hide them, disguise them, and then it's up to the Ghostbusters to take their little meter thing, their little reader, and then they got to go around and try to figure out where the hell these portals are and then shut them down. And the same with your little ghosts that the ghost can summon. They can hide as little dolls and other things, and then you've got to find them because while they're there, they'll keep making that haunt level go higher and higher. So you got to keep all that under control, using the little gadgets and gizmos that you have. So there's several of them that you have as the Ghostbusters, and the ghosts, they've got really cool abilities. Obviously they're able to, float through walls sometimes, just launch themselves up to different levels to escape the Ghostbusters. But the Ghostbusters this time around, they've got grappling hooks that they can use every once in a while, so they can kind of fast track up to catch you. that kind of thing going on. It looks like a lot of fun, and of course you're using all the cool gadgets that you normally would in a traditional Ghostbusters show movie if you're familiar with those. But if you're not, in its essence, you're going to take these ghosts and you're going to zap them, and you're going to get rid of them. But the bigger ghosts you can't just zap and get rid of. You've got to trap them. So then you got to lay out the trap. Then you got to drag them over to the trap, hit the button, boom, opens it up, sucks them on in, away they go. It's typical fun time Ghostbusters. It looks really good. Like, out of, the games that Ilphonic has done in this genre, this one looks really, really, really smooth and really true to form if you like Ghostbusters. So I would definitely recommend, if you like Ghostbusters at all, to check this title out. And the ghosts, too. Like I said, you can customize your Ghostbusters, but the ghosts, you can get different kinds of ghosts. And you're going to unlock them as you play the game. So there'll be all sorts of ghosts with different abilities, different stats that you can play with and utilize and, see what works best for you if you end up the ghost. Because obviously everybody's playstyle is a little bit different. Some are, just brawlers going in there, just jacking up the Ghostbusters, going toe-to-toe with them. Some are sneaky snooks. Some have a mixture of this. Some have a lot of more magical, poltergeisty type abilities. Some have high escape abilities, that kind of stuff. So it really allows you to kind of customize the way you like to play as the ghost. And, of course, as a Ghostbuster, you just have a lot of gizmos and gadgets. And you can find what ones work for you, what ones you like and don't like, and play with them. It looks like a lot of fun. I really wish it was a free-to-play game, honestly. And then you just bought battle passes, which got you more costumes, more unlockables. I don't know. I hate saying that because sometimes the battle pass thing annoys me, but this feels like a game that would just really flourish from that. Because I would probably actually play this one if it was free to play, and I'd hop in and be like, whatever, I'm going to play some randos. And then, of course, lastly, if you don't have the friends to make a whole match, it fills it with bots. So if you're a solo player and you do want to play this, you can just go check it out. It'll fill it with bots, and, I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun. And maybe it'll burn out for you because obviously you're not playing real people. It's way more fun with real people. Everybody knows that. But still, if you are a single player who just knows they're never going to want to play with other people or doesn't have friends or whatever the hell the case may be, you still can pick this up and have a really good go at it. And if you're a Ghostbuster fan, I'm sure you're going to want to do that. Yeah, down the road, who knows what they're going to do. The Predators Hunting Grounds, I know that was pretty popular. That lasted quite a while. The Friday the 13th thing, it was popular, but there was some issues. I can't remember. I remember there being some problems with the licensing or something, and that just got straight up shut down. So this has a good chance of being pretty successful because they've got a track record for putting out some really cool collaborative games. But I think it all depends on what their content release slate is. If they can keep things fresh, keep things flowing, add new modes, that kind of stuff. But I definitely recommend go check out Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed if you haven't already, because it's a pretty dang cool video game.
And speaking of pretty dang cool video games, I'm going to tell you about a game that's been on my radar for seemingly 2 years, but that actually came out last year for the last gen systems. And I had no idea. I see trailers for this every now and then. It's a game called The Eternal Cylinder, which dropped on the 13th of October for PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series consoles, developed by Ace Team, published by Good Shepherd Entertainment. And what catches my eye about the trailers all the time is it'll show you an alien world, totally strange landscape, absolutely bizarre creatures. But then it'll pan out, and there'll, from horizon to horizon, as far as you can see, there's just this giant cylinder rolling over everything. And it says try to survive or something. I go, what the hell is this game? Is it a survival game? Is it like a roguelike? Is it like No Man's Sky where you're hopping from planet to planet and this thing is coming after you all the time? Well, actually, I found out watching some reviews because it, like I said, came out for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One last year. This is a game where it's basically a story-based game where you start as one of these little creatures called the Trebum, which are hard to describe, so I'll just say it looks like Q*bert. It's a little body with a face with a little trunk and little stubby legs. It's just a little nothing happening creature. You start as one of these creatures and the cylinder is already chasing you. So you have to run from the cylinder, and once the cylinder reaches this set of towers, once you pass the tower, it kind of holds the cylinder in place for a while. And then that opens up this whole biome that you've reached, and now you can kind of go around, and it is a little bit of a survival game in that you do have to eat and drink and stuff, but you can also ingest things that make those meters go down a lot slower. But it's not super survival, but the interesting thing is, as you're going around sucking up stuff in your little snout nose, like the more things you acquire, they can help you evolve different parts on your body. So if you eat a lot of like the little grasshopper creatures, you'll evolve little grasshopper legs. Now you got a big jump. If you eat, suck up a lot of like the balloon creatures, now you can have like an air sac kind of body, and you can jump up and float through the air for a while. So as you go explore these biomes and evolve yourself, and then sometimes find apparently like little like puzzle temples, you can use those abilities in these puzzle temples to unlock other things. But eventually, as you explore that biome, you're going to get outside of the field of influence of that tower that's holding the cylinder back. And once you do that, once you have decided that you are, able enough to progress, you go outside that field, the cylinder crashes over the tower, and it starts rolling up everything in its way, including you if you're not fast enough. So you got to hightail it to the next tower, activate that, whole process starts all over again. And then in the course of doing this, you may find other little trebums, maybe like little offspring eggs you can find and hatch, and now you have another one. And so now you can swap between them, or maybe you find a hibernating one who is like an older one, a bigger one. Now he joins your little squad. Now you can apply those upgrades to all the different ones. Maybe you have one really fast trebum, one really strong trebum, one who can jump real high, one who can float real far, one who's good in the water, and you could use them to solve all these little puzzles, just running around the world and finding these crazy creatures and figuring out how to defeat them to get their upgrade stuff to upgrade yourself a little bit more. Kind of reminds me of Evo, the Search for Eden back in the day. But what's interesting about it, I expected it to be like a roguelite or like a survival game. Like maybe the thing rolls you over and you just start all fresh. No, it's a full-on story-based game. When you wake up as the first creature and you're running from the cylinder, there's a narrator, kind of like Stanley Parable or something like that, who's telling the story of this creature. And the further you go, the more you learn about yourself, because you've just been hatched when the game starts. And the more you, the player, learn about this whole world and the cylinder, and there are creatures or people creatures or robots who are working with the cylinder to try and do whatever the point of this thing is. So it's kind of really interesting. It's all the kind of stuff I love, like exploration, strange creatures, modifying yourself to be able to do things better. But then there's this weird story on top of it. On top of this just mysterious thing. The thing that attracted me to the trailers was just the mystery of what is happening here. What is this giant cylinder? How is this happening? What's going on? So to know that there's a big story on top of that, I am 100% in on the Eternal Cylinder. I cannot wait to play this eventually, or I might just break my resolution and have to get it after the next big game that I finish, because I can't wait to be a little weird creature and then suck some stuff up, and then now I got little flappy wings, or they've showed like a little fire snout where you can just a little burst of fire to attack your enemies. I don't know. It looks weird. It looks strange. It looks right up my alley. It's the Eternal Cylinder.
You know what? You need to check that out. But before you go buy it, Matt, you need to check out 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. Okay, just get that one first. Keep to your resolution. Play that one before you get to this one. And save that as your dessert for January. There you go.
Some content creators that have been watching recently have actually said it's really good. So maybe I will actually check it out. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Now that I've got a voice I can trust in some guy I'll never meet. I didn't even mean it that way at first, but then I realized how bad it sounded, so I'm just going to double down. I'm going to double down on the bit. It's already a bit.
Down.
This is triple really down. Yes.
Push that bit all the way to the end, all the way to the sacrifice. Well, it's come. I don't know how we missed it, but it has arrived, Matt. The new Tales from the Borderlands is here. All the special chosen ones from 2K, they've already been playing it today, getting their hands on it. Reviews are popping up all over the place. I'm not going to lie, I haven't even checked them out yet. The only thing I have seen is that Twitter, Randy Pitchford posted a couple saying he was super stoked and happy to see that it's doing well. But I haven't read any myself. I'm just shocked that it's here. I don't know. I don't know where I thought it was coming or when, but I was like, it's here today? Oh my God. I can't even play it because I'm going to be down south visiting family. So I don't even have an opportunity to get in here and check this game out. I did go online, check it out on the PlayStation Store, make sure I could grab it up. For anybody listening, it's too late. If you haven't pre-ordered it, you're not going to get the pre-order bonus. But for me, in this present time, I could still go click the button and get whatever the pre-order bonus is. I have no idea, to be honest with you, what it is, but I should probably grab it. I mean, why the hell not? I'm going to play it.
That I don't remember. I know there was like the digital deluxe edition that came with the original.
And that came with the original.
Which we've already played and platinumed and everything. But, I mean, if you haven't, you should definitely get that too, because Tales from the Borderlands original, like we said, neither of us have touched new yet. The original is my favorite piece of Borderlands content ever. So if you have a chance to get the digital deluxe and haven't played the original, do that. But like Eric said, it's out. I mean, I knew it was now, but I also didn't know it was now. Like when we talked about it, it's like, yeah, it's releasing in October. And we're like, oh man, with Overwatch 2 and Bayonetta 3 and all this other stuff. And then that knowledge like disappeared. And now that it is mid to late October, oh, it's here. And I'm startled, but then that piece of knowledge like sucked back to the front of my brain. I went, yeah, idiot, remember? And I went, I mean, I do remember, but I didn't realize. So yeah, it's here and it's out. It's crazy.
And apparently, from what I'm hearing so far, it's pretty good. I don't know. I have no idea. I saw, we both saw that same trailer, the gameplay back in the day, and we talked about it already. But beyond that, I don't know what to expect from this whatsoever. So I don't know. I think I'm going to go in with too high of expectations, to be quite frank. I think I'm going to be thinking this will be Tales from the Borderlands, but it won't be, because that's not the team. Telltale made that game. Gearbox is making this game. The type of humor, the type of things, the type of situations, I think is going to be completely different. Will it still be awesome and fun? Maybe. I hope so, because I'm going to be grabbing it up and playing it. But I'm scared because I have this bar for Tales. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, if it doesn't meet the bar, it's already going to be, excuses, I don't know. This kind of bugged me. That's bugging me. So I don't know which way to go with this. I mean, I'll tell you, because I'm going to play it. And obviously, being that it's just a narrative type game, I can't imagine it's more than 5 to 7, 8 hours or whatever. So should be fairly quick. We'll both probably have it beat within the next couple weeks. And then we'll talk about it. But for now, I'm just scared. Because I don't want it to ruin what Tales was. Mm-hmm. And I hope it's great. And I want it to be great. But the bar is set too high for me, I think, already. And I'm going to be just all critical and a-hole-ish about it, but maybe they're going to shock me, and it's going to be just fantastic, and it's going to be just as good as Tales was, and I'm going to come away just skipping around going, dang, I got a second bite of that delicious pie, and I'm the happiest man that could ever be.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you're saying. I really hope that it is awesome and great, but my bar is even a little bit lower because the few things that we've seen, like the clips and stuff that have been coming out over the last couple weeks, it's just not hitting for me. And I know I said that during the gameplay reveal too, is the characters weren't really gelling for me, like with me. With each other, they were fine. But the interactions just weren't, I don't know, it wasn't what I wanted. And the other things that I've seen, it kind of makes me more trepidatious. But if you're going to get it and play it, then I will get it and play it. And we will talk about it on the show, positive or negative. I still do have high hopes for it because, I mean, it's Tales and it's Borderlands and it's Gearbox. And I love all those things, and I want them all to gel together into a really good thing. So we'll see. Catch us later in a couple weeks when we've beaten it, and we'll talk more about it. But speaking of things we're looking forward to and hoping are good, man, Eric, it's your whole show. This is your whole thing. They had Silent Hill transmission. They had Resident Evil showcase. Look, it's survival. There was horror. There was gross. There was yuck.
Did you see it? Did you see it?
I did see it, yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so wonderful. You know what? There's haters out there. They're losing their damn minds. And they're just dumber than a bag of rocks. All right, so Silent Hill had themselves a wonderful little transmission. Konami's back. They're like, you know what? We want to make Silent Hill real again. They had this cool little fog. They had the two announcers on the Silent Hill streets. Yeah, it was a little corny, but let's be honest. Anything the Japanese do with their little things is pretty corny. I don't know why. They just always have weird stuff going on.
I gotta interject that dual Kickstarter thing. They had that concert thing I told you about. It was a little dorky, but it wasn't quite as dorky as this one was. She'd be like, "Hey, what do you think about showing them the new Silent Hill?" Hi.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. I was like,
it was
dude, you got it. It's too much, dude. It's too much.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But I had a great time because, of course,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
struck it right off with the Silent Hill 2 remake, which was the worst kept secret ever. It's been talked about a billion times. Bloober Team's doing it. And I'm stoked. Medium was one of my games of the year, a couple of years ago, or whatever the hell it came out. I love that game. I loved how they went back to that traditional, what made Resident Evil, what made Silent Hill the type of game it was. And then they went on further with that, and they had the composer for Silent Hill come on board. He's on board, and then one of the original Team Silent, individuals is also guiding Team Bloober and making this remake, the best that it can be. I have zero doubts because Bloober has said in the past, vaguely that the medium was them practicing and training to do this. So I am so stoked. And of course people were like just going nuts about the way James looks. He looks like this haggard old dude or whatever. Sure, yeah, he does look weird in that couple of those scenes. He does look a little off. But I didn't give that's not what I'm playing this game for. I was looking at the gameplay and the environment when they were showing it, and that looked fantastic. It was looking gorgeous. It was looking just AAA, really cool. And it was a modern take, just like the medium was, a modern take on that fixed camera angle screens. And that's what I'm all about. I've already argued a million times, Matt, that's a type of game. And it should not exist because Resident Evil moved away from it. And that's what we want. But, oh well. I'm not going to fight with everybody who doesn't like it. But for that first one, Silent Hill 2 remake, very happy. I can't wait to see what Bloober Team does. What'd you think?
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I've never been a Silent Hill person. I've said a million times. I rented the first Silent Hill. It was too scary. I stopped playing it. But I've always heard amazing stuff about the whole series, 2 especially, and it's always been too late for me to go back and play it. So to get to finally experience it, even though, by now it's a piece of pop culture, like I know all about it, but for me to go back and experience it with the freshest hotness that it could be, because they even said they're working to kind of move beyond, bring it even more into the main fold. And I'm hoping that extends to some of the aspects of the gameplay, because I remember Silent Hills are always kind of stiff because that's how those games are.
I don't want the pure tank crap. Don't get me wrong. I don't want that back. Everybody does agree the tank stuff needs to be dead.
Yeah, and I'm sure certain of the puzzles are probably clunky and clanky, but to experience it as smooth and cool as possible, I am excited for it. It's just not a cultural touchstone for me, but to maybe have it be now is pretty cool.
And then, of course, after that, though, they weren't done. They went, hey, guess what? Developed by No Code Studios in Annapurna, we've got Silent Hill Townfall coming. This, another title. Looks freaking crazy. It looks fantastic. The trailer pops in. It's like this little CB com up with this little video thing going, and this dude's just kind of narrating that you deserve to be in this town. You deserve to be where you are. And not only do you deserve to be here with whatever's going to happen, but you're actually even crazier, more special, I think is what the phrasing was. And I don't want to be here even remotely close when stuff goes down with what they're going to do to you here. And that being in Silent Hill, and already we all know all the craziness that Silent Hill does and has, and then to have this be oh, but you're actually even going to be worse. I'm like, ooh, what's that mean? And of course, it's made, like I said, by the No Code Studios, who've done Observation, Stories Untold. So they already have a cool kind of horror, weird, creepy vibe thing going. And Annapurna, everybody knows Annapurna. Mm-hmm. This has a lot of potential.
I've always wanted to play, I think it's Observer, is the Observer or Observation.
Is it Observer? I can't remember.
Whichever one it is.
It's somewhere like that. I played a little bit of it, but I never beat it.
If it's the one that I'm thinking of, it's a game I've always wanted to play. That's the one where you're like the AI in the ship and you're going through the cameras, right? Okay. And so that gets me excited because, even if it's not the same type of thing, obviously there's some guy who knows why you're there, who is seems like he's in charge of what is happening to you. So to kind of blend that kind of an overseer watching over you with the type of creeps and craps that is always going to happen in Silent Hill, it kind of ratchets it up even crazier, even more. So I am excited for this one.
Mm-hmm. And then they even told you, man, they're like, go back and watch the trailer again. Maybe you might have missed a few things. So I watched it a few times. And of course, there's tons of flickering and tons of little video pieces in that little radio thing. And there's a lot of like bodies and weird stuff and faces of people and like rooms.
Hands creeping into
hands
and
creeping
stuff.
over. Like it was really cool. I don't know what the hell it means. Maybe I'm missing something that's has to do with some other titles of Silent Hill that I didn't play. So I didn't catch nothing that made me go, oh, I know what this is from. But it was really cool just to see all the weird, strange images popping up on there. So definitely look forward to this one too. And then, of course, I want to go to Silent Hill Ascension. Because this one I'm mixed on.
Yeah.
It came up and it showed like a bunch of people texting each other. Can we save her? Can we do this? Can we? And I knew. I went, okay, this is going to be some kind of weird mobile online, like everybody's online thing or something. And that's what I thought it was going to be. And then it kind of isn't. It's kind of different. I still don't 100% know what they're trying to do with this. But it looks basically like they're going to tell a tale in the Silent Hill universe that involves everybody who's playing it. But that doesn't make sense to me because what if I play it like a month later? Now am I just playing with whoever is playing it a month later? What if nobody's playing it? What if I'm the only one? Or is this like a timed event, like a show, which is kind of what I'm thinking in my head, where if you want to take part in this, it's going to be from this time to this time, and you have to be there to influence the way this particular Silent Hill story goes. Is that right? Is that the vibe? That's what I was getting from it. But
now I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they said this is a series. Okay. So like when he said series to me, that just said it's a show that's being broadcast, and you can vote or make the decisions in real time, like an Until Dawn or a Telltale type of thing. Like I don't know if it's just like an online series. You watch it in your web browser, and when the choice comes up, you go blibbity bloop, and then it plays the next clip because they've recorded one or the other.
And then depending on how everybody voted or said what they want, like what I was saying, like run or can we save her? You know,
right.
So I'll be online watching this story unfold, and then there'll be a moment where it's like, hey, do we just get the heck out of Dodge? And then you're like, well, can we save her? Can we save her? Yes, vote yes, vote no, or whatever the case may be, and you can kind of like communicate back and forth with everybody watching to make a decision.
That's the impression that I got, which I am torn on because it sounds really cool.
That sounds cool.
I mean, it sounds awesome, but I'll also be like really pissed off. This is why I never played Star Wars: The Old Republic multiplayer, because you get to the decisions and hey, whatever the group votes for is what you're going to see. Well, I don't want to save that person. That person is a jerk and I hate him. But everybody voted for save him, and now the other cool character fell down the pit because we saved Dingus. I don't like it, but it will be a cool event to do.
Yeah. So if that's the way this plays out, I'm excited. If it's something else, then maybe not so much. But what did get me on board is, of course, this is a collaboration between, and I don't know who these people are, but Genvid Entertainment. I do know who Bad Robot Games is, Behavior Interactive, and DJ2 Entertainment. Most of that doesn't really ring a bell for me. One thing did. It's directed by J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, holy crap. And then it struck me. I remember hearing that J.J. Abrams said he wanted to work with something with Silent Hill a long time ago. And here we are. Fast forward, this is the project. Which, of course, further makes it so I think we're right in that this is actually just going to be a show. And when you just interact with the show. And they're taking a character that I'm not familiar with. I think this character was in the Dead by Daylight. I think that's where this Silent Hill monster is from. Because I've never seen this monster in any of the games that I've played. Or I've forgotten if I have. But whatever. That's not really super important. But it was pretty cool. Just pretty strange. This is the only one where I was like, man, I don't know. Maybe it'll be cool. Whatever. We'll find out, I guess.
No, you have to also be that way about Silent Hill F or whatever it was at the very end.
No,
because it was just a CGI trailer, Eric. It was just a CGI trailer.
No.
And the F must stand for fungus because there's weird, creepy fungus things all over the place.
That trailer sold me. I don't care. It was gorgeous. It was wonderful. The face falling off, right there as the fungus grew, and then the teardrop came down, and then the music was just phenomenal. I mean, that music was just like, what the hell is this place? What is going on? And I instantly got excited because, why wouldn't there be a Silent Hill in other countries and other places? Right. A different Silent Hill. But we know what Silent Hill is, but it just takes a different shape and form other places. And then on top of it all, when the little boat was going over the water and the corpses were like just the pot, instead of just like bursting out, like how it pockmarked them, like just receded in these holes. I don't know what that was, but that was just, oh man, that was freaky and that was awesome. And I appreciated the hell out of it. So I don't know. Like you said, CG trailer means absolutely nothing.
Correct.
But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this could be. And of course, it has some very famous names attached to it that have done like a lot of really cool anime stuff and this and that, and shows, in the Eastern countries, things like that. But I don't know. Nothing there yet, but I'm excited. And then, of course, you saw, what was it, Christoph Gans, yeah. He did the last Silent Hill movie, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's working on this one. And I'm going to say this. I enjoyed Silent Hill, the movie, the original. I don't know, the chat seemed to be going crazy, like they were mad or whatever. And Christoph, for the crazy things he talked about in his little segment, especially when he's talking about being a gamer and the heart, a gamer at heart. And I did have a chuckle with the chat who just went to town with that. I was giggling. But that man, he wants to make this game. Like, you could see it when he was talking that he was in it. He wanted to do this. He's in it to win it. He wants to make this a complete success. And the last one was too, even though people say they didn't like it. It was a success. It sold lots and lots of copies, did very well, as they told you. So, I don't know. I want to give him a shot here. I want to put my faith in this movie. I only hope, because I don't know how up to date the French are, with current events and gaming movies, things, how the world has moved since then. Because gaming movies are actually starting to be good. You know what I mean? And they're actually starting to move forward. I'm just hoping he's up to speed with the rest of the world these days and doesn't just try to literally do the original Silent Hill movie again.
So you just said the original Silent Hill movie is good, but I don't want him to make it that movie because it was good and it's going to be bad.
It was good when it came out, but the gaming movie thing has evolved. So I think by today's standards, it wouldn't be up to snuff with what you've got these current movies doing.
No movie from that time period would be up to snuff with anything. Get out of here.
That's what I mean.
Switch over and start talking about the Resident Evil thing because I got a fun line in there. God damn it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, anywho, I had fun with Silent Hill. Moving on to Resident Evil. And this is where I guess Matt's going to shine. Because I didn't really care about much of this. I did care about...
You've been talking about the stupid Winners DLC forever. You've been
I cared
all
about
excited
one
for
thing. That was the Winners DLC. I was very stoked to see this. I can't wait to play it. For whatever reason, I totally forgot that Ethan died. So when she went to his grave, I was like, what the hell? What? What the hell's going on? How'd he die?
I thought it was funny because I haven't beaten that game yet. I'm like, oh, well, I die at the end. I mean, I think, again, I feel like it's something I knew, and then it just shunted to the back. And when I saw it, I went, yeah, idiot, don't you remember you saw something about him being dead? And I went, okay, well,
yeah,
I guess that was true.
Yeah, it makes sense after I saw it was, starting to process again. But yeah, right from the start, I was shocked. I was like, are they gonna tell me why? What happened to him? What's going on? How'd he die? What the hell? So that part got me all confused, but seeing her using powers and stuff was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, I'm totally about this. I hope the whole game is more about her and her magic and powers than it is about using guns. Because we already did that. We just did that literally with her father. Let's move away from that and be all about magic and cool stuff.
Well, it has to be because they talked about how her whole thing takes place in the realm of consciousness.
Yeah.
She's not even there.
Really there.
It's all in her head or in the weird things that are happening inside her head. And they were talking about the nightmare images of the big dolls, and you could tell she's tiny and running from these dolls inside of this big door. Mm-hmm. So that's what I wanted more of. Because I haven't beaten Resident Evil Village, but you're a dude running around shooting monsters with a gun. Whereas now, in theory, this DLC, it could be doing anything.
You're Freddy Krueger-ing this stuff up.
Yeah, you saw her shooting some powers and then shooting a gun on a thing, but you could go into a room and it's just Alice in Wonderland. She's big, she's small, literally anything could be happening. So I'm excited for what that could bring, because the doll thing I thought was awesome. When I realized the door behind her was enormous and she was small in this little nightmare world, perfect. I loved it.
Yeah, I also loved the I don't know who it was, if his director or whatever, just talking about how his vision was to do nightmares. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, ooh, I love nightmares. That's my favorite thing ever. So if he stays true to that, and like you said, brings just the weirdest, craziest, most sideways thing you could imagine into this, there's a lot of potential, because you haven't finished the game yet, but of course every zone is like a completely different thing. And so, and as they said, they're going back to that village one more time, but in her consciousness, state instead of in real life. So getting to see all the old haunts will be fun, but I expect it to be completely twisted and weird and different, because the way they're talking, I'll be very upset if most of it's just kind of going through the same exact places again with no little actual base change.
And that's the perfect segue to talking about Resident Evil 4, the big giant remaster, the remake, the redo, because you are going through all the same places, but it's all super different. I was watching the chat on this when they were losing their minds. I wasn't losing my mind, but I was looking at the characters and going, that's not what you look like. That's not what you sound like. That's not her. But then it was cool because once I wiped that away from my eyeballs, I was like, okay, Leon looks different. Ashley looks different. The Spanish dude, I can't remember his name, he looks different. The big dude's different. The small dude's different. But it all fit in this new, greasy, grimy, slimed up world. But I remember the original GameCube, Resident Evil 4, it was a bright, sunshiny day. Everything was bright and clear as it could be. So to see Leon going into this wet, dark, disgusting area, it had a totally different feel to it. So to me, the totally different character designs fit that feel better. Everyone looks kind of creepy. Ashley doesn't look like a weird little schoolgirl that they just plopped into this weird horror movie. She looks like she normally would. Mm-hmm. My only concern about that is because it was kind of all shiny, and I don't want to make it sound like it was bad, but it was brightly lit and it had kind of a lighter tone. Leon was kind of a cheesy horror movie hero in that original game. It makes me wonder, are they taking out all his fun lines? Is Salazar's right hand still going to come off? I put that in the chat and nobody paid attention to it. But I was like, come on, you gotta at least keep the lines in there or keep something in there. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one, I'm going to play it because I feel I owe it. But everybody already knows I hate 4. Never played it, never beat it. I thought it ruined what Resident Evil was to me in my mind and my heart. So to this day, I hold a huge grudge against that game. But because I played Village and enjoyed it, and then I watched someone play all the way through 7, and I enjoyed watching it. I didn't play it myself, but I did enjoy the whole playthrough, and couldn't wait to get back and watch the next episode. I feel like I have to go back, and now this is where I get to play 4, the one that I thought ruined everything and destroyed what Resident Evil was, and maybe be wrong. Maybe actually come to love this game. I hope that ends up being the case, and I will play it. But I don't have much to say because I have no memories of this game. I don't care. The only thing I have is hatred.
Well, you got to put the hatred in a bucket. Put it outside. Put it off to the side because, I wasn't even a Resident Evil fan and I played it, and it's a good game. It was a really good game back then. So if they do it right and shine it up and, there was a bunch of stuff in that trailer that I don't remember. And I never played and beat it, but I've seen people beat it 100 million times on YouTube. There was stuff in there that I don't remember. So I'm wondering if, for those hardcore fans, they're twisting a bunch of the characters, they're twisting some of the scenarios. Maybe they're twisting the way the story is going to go, too, to throw in some extra spooks and shocks and all that stuff. But the thing I got to say is, I don't know who was playing this during the things, but
they were bad.
They were bad. They were honestly terrible, getting grabbed by everything. I think it was just to show off the graphics and whatever. Mm-hmm. But then Leon burned a cow alive.
That was awesome.
And then for the very first zombie that came down the stairs with his neck broke, you could tell whoever was playing wanted to shoot that zombie right in the dick. They really, really wanted to. And then they aimed for the white shirt so you could see the blood. And I was like, you're burning cows, you're shooting guys in the dick. Come on.
Who is this playing?
Who is playing this?
I'm totally setting the cow on fire, though. That was awesome. I will sacrifice that cow to get rid of 3 or 4 zombies. That's for sure.
It's made me laugh because I literally wrote down. Leon tried to shoot a guy in the That's my show notes from this one. And I have to bleep that like 4 different times, but it made me laugh so hard. And then the cow, and he goes, "I'll pay for the damages." It's a cow. You killed it. That was great.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty impressive all in all. And then of course the reverse side, they were like, "Hey, if you owned a village, you're gonna play reverse eventually someday." And I just immediately dismissed it. I'm like, this was supposed to be out when the game came out 100 years ago. What? I don't care anymore. I'm done with this.
I laughed because I was writing notes, or I got up to get a drink or something. I came back and I looked at it and was like, "What is this? What am I even looking at? Characters and things?" And then it said reverse, and I went, "It's not even a game. That's you're making stuff up. You're pretending now. Just stop. Just don't pretend anymore. It's over.
Give it up. You should have just swept it under the rug and said, yeah, we just didn't get to it. It's over. Yeah. Moving on. Focus on the next RE9, let's do whatever." But anyways, if you're excited for it, that's cool. And then last but not least, they got the demo for the third-person view of Resident Evil Village, which I'll probably play the demo. I doubt I'll replay the whole game in third person. It is intriguing because I do, of course, prefer the third-person view to the first-person view 100%. But, I mean, it is what it is. I've already beat the game, and I'm short on time anyway for other stuff. But I'll play the demo, just because that'll only take me 60 minutes, because it's a timed demo again. I don't know if you get 60 or 30, I forget, but it's timed.
Yeah, I saw that, and it got me intrigued just because I like the look of that better. Just when I saw him there shooting, the creatures or whatever with the shotgun, it felt good, and it felt right. And I went, yeah, this is how I'm going to play it. And I went, no, idiot, you didn't play it first. You started again, and then you stopped. You're probably never going to play it anyway, so don't start it again in third-person mode. There's no way. It's not going to happen. But it's a cool idea. I like the looks of it, but I also don't. They showed a thing where he jumped over a little gap, and the landing looked kind of hinky. I'm sure the animations weren't finished. But I was like, man, if it doesn't look good, then it's doubly not going to be anything great. But it's interesting. It intrigues me, I guess.
Yeah, and then last on that note, their model of Ethan, I don't know what it is, but why, but that's not the Ethan I had built in my brain.
Right.
And so I'm just looking at some old frumpy dude from Silent Hill. That's what I kept thinking. I was like, this is just that weird kind of fogged up guy in Silent Hill that I'm seeing. And I don't know, that's not the Ethan I made. And it's weird to separate because I'm like, what Ethan did you make? I'm like, I don't know, but it isn't him. It's not that guy.
I think to me the weirdest thing was I imagine a dude with black hair and not like a beard, but some scruff going on. And he's
like scruff. He's gray haired almost.
He's that blondish brown hair. His hair looks like his jacket. And I was like, that's not, what's this jacket?
He was super smooth baby face kind of thing was going on. And I was like,
this is a dude with black hair and no jacket. He's just in his shirt sleeves. Because that's, I don't know.
His hands get cut off every 5 seconds. So,
yeah. I've seen a sleeve. I haven't seen a big jacket thing. I don't know. Coat. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
So it was a little strange. But anywho's, there you go, everybody. You can go check out that demo right now. The reverse one's coming next week. If you want to, the early pass, whatever the hell they're calling it, and check that out. You got the the winners thing coming. When's that coming? The 28th? 10/28?
No clue.
It's 10/28. It's 10/28 coming. So if you want to go purchase that, feel free to do so. I will, because like Matt said, I am excited to play it. So a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff, Matt. It was a pretty cool week this week, man.
It was. But what about you out there in podcast listener land? What was the coolest part of the week for you? Was it me getting that Setzer achievement and I'm never going to use him or that slots command ever again? Yeah, that's what it was. But anyway, regardless of what it was, you should email us, thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine at thirdshiftme. I'm falling apart. It's too late. We've gone too long. And find us on Facebook under Third Shift, damn it.
You can find us over there, and you can find us over that wonderful Patreon. Yes, we treat it like a tip jar. You like what we're doing, like what you hear, please consider heading over there, throwing $1, $2, $3, all the bucks our way, because it helps us keep the lights on, the show running, and of course us able to purchase games to play and have fun with and talk to you about them, and or equipment to keep the show running in the first place. As I already said, hey, if you can't support us that way, you can also go over and give us 5-star ratings on the iTunes, on the Spotify. You can give us mailbag questions. topics for us to discuss on the show that you want to hear about, you can go do all sorts of cool, fun interactions on the Twitter. You can go over to Twitch, give us your Amazon Prime subscription, or just subscribe over there. Whatever the heck floats your boat. A lot of ways to interact and have some fun with us, and we do appreciate it.
Absolutely, we do. And we appreciate listening to the very next episode, which will be dropping on the 27th of October, or earlier, but never later. And you can find that episode on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, hey, if you like what we're doing, you'd like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, a review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any one of those good services. Because it does help us out, and we really do appreciate it.
We do indeed. We appreciate those 5-star reviews. And you know what? Hopefully next week, you see it in your hearts to give us one. Halloween's coming up. We talked about nightmares this week a little bit. Nightmares are awesome. They rock and roll. And the director was talking about how he wants to do the nightmare thing. Well, I got a little discussion I'll have with you next week about nightmares. Okay? Maybe then, when I give you nightmares, you'll give us 5-star ratings. We'll see next week. So stay tuned and make sure you check it out.
But until that time, there's nothing else to say but don't forget to say.
Shut up and sit down.